Walter wanted something more than just better numbers on a chart. He longed to recapture the quiet energy needed to fully enjoy life's simple pleasures. One of his greatest joys had always been reading poetry aloud to his wife of 45 years. But lately, even that small ritual felt distant, weighed down by fatigue. Green tea became my recommendation, a subtle but powerful force drawn from centuries of tradition. Its strength lies in its rich concentration of catechins, potent antioxidants that act like tireless caretakers of the cardiovascular system. Among these, Epigallocatechin galletae, EGCG, stands out. This compound helps enhance the function of blood vessels by reducing oxidative stress and calming inflammation, two of the most persistent enemies of aging health. A 2016 study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that catechins significantly reduce arterial stiffness. Why does this matter? Because flexible arteries allow blood to flow freely and efficiently, fueling every organ and tissue, including those involved in intimacy. For men like Walter, whose energy and drive had quietly faded, improved circulation can make all the difference in feeling vibrant again. But green tea's impact doesn't stop at the heart. It also takes aim at one of the most stubborn challenges older men face: visceral fat. This deep, hidden fat wraps around abdominal organs and isn't just about appearance. It actively disrupts hormonal balance. It promotes chronic inflammation and suppresses testosterone production, which leads to fatigue, low libido, and reduced mental clarity. The combination of green tea's catechins and modest caffeine content helps counter this. Together, they give the metabolism a gentle but effective boost, encouraging the body to burn fat more efficiently. A trimmed waistline, in turn, supports better testosterone levels and reduces the internal stress caused by inflammation. It's a subtle chain reaction that begins with a simple sip. For Walter, I suggested a manageable, meaningful routine. 1 cup of unsweetened green tea in the morning to start the day, and another in the late afternoon to carry him into the evening with calm, steady energy. I reminded him to keep it unsweetened so the purity of the catechins could remain intact, and his blood sugar levels could stay stable. A few weeks later, Walter returned with an update that truly moved me. "I feel more like me," he said, his tone lighter, his posture straighter. His morning walks felt brisker, his evenings more alive. He had shed some weight around the middle, and something deeper had shifted as well. Most touching of all, he had started reading poetry to his wife again, this time with a voice full of warmth and presence, as if the years had finally let go of their grip. But there's a sobering reality that often slips under the radar. When taken in high doses, vitamin E, long considered a health ally, can quietly turn into a serious threat, especially for older adults. One of the most pressing concerns with excessive vitamin E intake is its powerful blood-thinning effect. At first, that might sound like a benefit. After all, preventing clots is crucial for heart health. But as we age, our blood vessels naturally become more fragile, more prone to damage. In this context, thinning the blood too much can shift from being helpful to downright dangerous. The combination of delicate vessels and thinner blood creates the perfect storm for internal bleeding, sometimes in areas where the consequences can be especially severe. One of the most alarming risks is a hemorrhagic stroke, which occurs when a weakened blood vessel in the brain ruptures and bleeds into the surrounding tissue. This type of stroke can strike without any warning, and when it does, the impact is often devastating. It's not something most people associate with a simple supplement, but for seniors, it's a real and present danger. And the risks don't end there. High doses of vitamin E have also been associated with disruptions in the heart's electrical system. These disruptions can cause arrhythmias, irregular heartbeats, or even reduce the heart's ability to pump effectively. In my own clinical practice, I've seen this unfold firsthand. Patients who appeared strong, active, and full of life would suddenly show up in the emergency room with symptoms like chest pain, dizziness, or a dangerously erratic heartbeat. Time and time again, we traced these episodes back to a high-dose vitamin E supplement, the very product they believed was supporting their heart health. What makes this particularly troubling is how insidious the damage can be. It doesn't announce itself. There's no loud alarm or flashing signal. Instead, it accumulates slowly, silently, until one day it crosses a threshold and becomes a crisis. This risk becomes even more significant for seniors already taking common medications such as aspirin, statins, or blood pressure drugs. These medications are often essential for managing chronic conditions like heart disease or hypertension. But when combined with high doses of vitamin E, the interactions can amplify its blood-thinning effect, increasing the risk of dangerous complications like internal bleeding. It's a combination that many people don't realize can quietly put their health in jeopardy. It's a dangerous synergy that most people don't even realize is happening inside their own bodies. Research from reputable institutions, including the National Institutes of Health, has highlighted this issue. Several studies indicate that taking vitamin E in amounts exceeding 400 IU per day may actually increase the risk of mortality, particularly in people with existing cardiovascular problems. Yet despite these findings, many seniors continue to take high doses daily, still influenced by the outdated belief that more vitamin E equals better heart health. So what's the safer, smarter alternative? Instead of relying on high-dose supplements, consider embracing nature's more balanced sources of vitamin E. A handful of almonds, a sprinkle of sunflower seeds, a spoonful of olive oil, or a hearty serving of spinach or Swiss chard. All of these whole foods contain vitamin E in forms your body is designed to absorb and use effectively. Not only do they provide vitamin E, but they also offer fiber, beneficial fats, and other nutrients that work together to support cardiovascular wellness. If your doctor has diagnosed a vitamin E deficiency and supplementation is truly necessary, it's important to keep the dosage conservative, ideally under 200 IU per day. Most importantly, always consult a trusted healthcare provider to ensure the supplement won't conflict with any of your existing medications or conditions. Your heart is a finely tuned, delicate organ. It thrives not on assumptions or megadoses, but on precision, balance, and thoughtful care. If you're still watching and finding this information helpful, please comment 1 below to let me know you're still here, engaged, and valuing this journey toward better heart health. Thank you for staying with me and sharing your time. Now let's talk about a supplement combination that may surprise you: calcium without vitamin K2, a pairing that can quietly turn into a recipe for hardened arteries. For decades, calcium has been hailed as the ultimate nutrient for building and maintaining strong bones, especially as we age. From a young age, many of us were taught that drinking milk and getting enough calcium would help us grow tall and stay strong. As the years go by, that message only grows louder, especially for seniors who live with the constant concern of osteoporosis, brittle bones, and debilitating fractures. It's no wonder that many older adults faithfully take daily calcium supplements, often between 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams, with the goal of preserving bone density, preventing falls, and maintaining independence. But here's where things get complicated and potentially dangerous. Calcium, on its own, doesn't always go where it's needed. When you consume calcium, whether from food or supplements, your body relies on specific mechanisms to ensure it gets directed to the right places, mainly your bones and teeth. Without proper guidance, calcium can wander, and that's where vitamin K2 becomes essential. Think of K2 as the traffic controller in your body. It activates key proteins like osteocalcin and matrix GLA protein, which helps shuttle calcium into your skeletal system while preventing it from settling in soft tissues. Without enough K2, calcium can begin to deposit in places it shouldn't, most notably in your arteries. This process, known as arterial calcification, turns soft, flexible blood vessels into stiff, hardened pipelines. The result? Your heart has to work harder to push blood through narrowed, less elastic arteries. Over time, this can lead to higher blood pressure, reduced circulation, and an increased risk of severe cardiovascular complications, including heart attacks, heart failure, or stroke. I've witnessed this unsettling pattern firsthand. Seniors who show perfect bone density on scans, feeling proud of their efforts to stay strong, only to be blindsided by unexpected cardiovascular issues. The culprit? A well-intentioned calcium routine that lacked one crucial partner, vitamin K2. Some of the most heartbreaking cases I've seen involve older adults arriving at the hospital with chest pain, difficulty breathing, or even full-blown cardiac emergencies, completely unaware that their daily calcium supplements, taken with good intentions, were silently contributing to dangerous plaque buildup in their arteries. They believed they were supporting their bones, not realizing they were increasing their cardiovascular risk at the same time. Scientific studies have confirmed this hidden connection. Research published in respected journals like Arteriosclerosis, Thrombosis, and Vascular Biology has shed light on the protective role vitamin K2 plays in preventing calcium from hardening blood vessels. One notable study focusing on postmenopausal women found that those who took vitamin K2 experienced reduced arterial stiffness compared to those who only took calcium. It's a clear sign that calcium needs a partner, and yet most over-the-counter calcium supplements don't include K2 at all. Unfortunately, public awareness about this vital synergy remains low. There's another overlooked nutrient that plays a big role in this equation: magnesium. This essential mineral helps regulate calcium absorption and supports the health of your blood vessels. But magnesium, like K2, is often missing from standard calcium supplement formulas, leaving the body without the tools it needs to manage calcium effectively. So, what's the best way to protect both your heart and your bones? Start with calcium-rich whole foods that work in harmony with your body's natural systems. Yogurt, kefir, sardines with bones, salmon, kale, and broccoli are all excellent sources. These foods not only offer calcium, but also come packed with protein, vitamin D, and other nutrients that support bone and cardiovascular health. If you do need to supplement, be selective. Choose formulations that include vitamin K2, specifically the MK7 form, which is highly bioavailable, and magnesium to help your body properly absorb and use calcium. And most importantly, speak with your healthcare provider before starting any new supplement, especially if you've had heart disease, kidney problems, or other conditions that could affect your calcium balance. Your heart and bones aren't working against each other. With the right support and guidance, they can both thrive, strong, steady, and in sync. If you're still here watching and learning, let me know by commenting 1 below. Your engagement means a lot, and I appreciate your commitment to your health. If you're still here with me, comment number 2 below to let me know you're continuing this important journey. I truly appreciate the time you're dedicating to your health. Now, let's talk about iron. Often praised as a vital nutrient, yet capable of becoming a silent threat when overlooked or misunderstood. Iron plays a crucial role in your body. It helps create hemoglobin, the protein in red blood cells that transports oxygen to your tissues. For many older adults, especially those feeling persistently tired or low on energy, iron supplements seem like an easy fix. The reasoning feels logical. Low iron causes fatigue, so more iron must restore energy, right? But the truth is far more complicated, and in some cases, dangerously misleading. Unlike other nutrients, your body has no reliable way to eliminate excess iron. When you consume more than you need, the extra iron doesn't just disappear. It starts to accumulate silently in your organs, often without any immediate symptoms. Over time, this excess iron behaves like rust inside the body, fueling oxidative stress, a harmful process where free radicals damage your cells and tissues. The buildup can affect multiple vital organs. Iron tends to deposit in places like the liver, pancreas, joints, and especially the heart. In the heart, this oxidative stress weakens the cardiac muscle, interferes with normal electrical signaling, and increases the risk of serious complications like arrhythmias, heart failure, or cardiomyopathy. I've met seniors who blamed their constant fatigue, joint discomfort, or mental fog on aging alone. But blood tests later revealed dangerously high iron levels, often from iron supplements they didn't truly need. In many cases, they were taking daily multivitamins that contained iron or additional supplements, unaware that they were slowly building up a toxic load. One critical test that can reveal this issue early is a ferritin test, which measures your body's stored iron. Readings over 300 nanograms per milliliter in men, or 200 in women, may signal iron overload, even before any symptoms appear. Unfortunately, these numbers often go unnoticed until complications arise. The risk is even higher in older adults. As we age, our need for iron naturally decreases because the production of red blood cells slows. For women, the end of menstruation also means they lose less iron monthly, reducing the need for supplementation even further. Yet many multivitamins marketed specifically to seniors still include iron, without confirming whether it's needed. To complicate matters, some commonly used medications, like proton pump inhibitors for acid reflux, can interfere with iron absorption. This interaction can either mask deficiencies or make iron more difficult to regulate, further muddying the picture. Studies published in the American Journal of Cardiology have shown a clear connection between elevated iron levels and a higher risk of cardiovascular events. These findings emphasize one crucial point: never start iron supplementation without proper testing. Before taking any iron pill, whether in a multivitamin or on its own, insist on a blood test that includes both ferritin and total iron binding capacity, TIBC. These two markers give you a more complete picture of your iron status, helping to avoid the dangers of supplementing blindly. For most individuals, especially older adults, the body's daily iron needs can easily be met through diet. Foods like spinach, lentils, lean cuts of red meat, and fortified cereals provide a steady and safer supply, without the risk of toxic buildup. Unless you have a medically diagnosed iron deficiency or anemia, supplementation usually isn't necessary. However, if iron supplements are required due to a confirmed deficiency, it's vital to work closely with your healthcare provider. Monitoring your dosage and tracking blood levels over time ensures you're addressing the problem without creating new ones. Your heart is not meant to be a storage unit for unused iron. It's a powerful yet delicate organ that deserves thoughtful, precise care every single day. Now let's turn our attention to another supplement that often comes with hidden dangers: vitamin B6, a nutrient that's gained popularity for its supposed benefits in boosting energy, improving mood, aiding sleep, and sharpening cognition. It's easy to find vitamin B6 in colorful energy drinks, brain-boosting pills, and sleep aids marketed heavily to aging adults. The promise is appealing. Take a pill and feel more energized, mentally sharp, and emotionally balanced. But behind the attractive packaging and glowing claims lies a lesser-known risk, one that could quietly compromise your nervous system and even your heart. High doses of vitamin B6, especially when taken at levels above 100 milligrams per day, can lead to serious side effects. Unlike water-soluble vitamins that exit the body easily, excess B6, particularly in the form of pyridoxine, can accumulate in your tissues. And that accumulation isn't harmless. It can become toxic over time, doing the opposite of what the label promised. One of the first places damage appears is in your myelin sheath, the protective layer surrounding your nerves. When that sheath is compromised, it disrupts the communication between your brain, spinal cord, and muscles. This can lead to a host of symptoms, some subtle, others more severe, that many older adults mistakenly attribute to aging or unrelated health issues. When the protective coating around your nerves, called the myelin sheath, starts to break down, it can lead to a condition known as peripheral neuropathy. The symptoms often creep in slowly: a tingling or burning feeling in the hands or feet, persistent numbness, or an unsteady gait that increases the risk of falls. For older adults, these sensations are often chalked up to just getting older, when in fact, the real cause might be hidden inside their daily supplement routine. Even more concerning is that excessive vitamin B6 can disrupt the heart's electrical system. It can trigger palpitations, erratic heartbeats, and in rare but serious situations, even sudden cardiac arrest, a risk that no one, especially a senior, should take lightly. What makes this particularly dangerous is how easy it is to overdose without realizing it. Many multivitamins, energy drinks, and fortified products like cereals or protein bars contain 200% to 500% of the recommended daily allowance of B6. For most adults, that RDA is just 1.5 to 2 milligrams. Yet, a single serving of a popular energy drink or senior multivitamin might contain 20 to 50 milligrams. Add that to other fortified foods or supplements consumed throughout the day, and the total can quietly surge into a zone that's toxic to your nerves and heart. And here's the tricky part. Vitamin B6 toxicity doesn't hit you all at once. It builds slowly, and the symptoms often develop so gradually that it's difficult to connect them to the real source. I've seen patients brush off these warning signs, believing they were simply dealing with normal aging. One patient comes to mind, a 72-year-old retiree who had been experiencing persistent numbness in her fingertips and occasional heart palpitations. At first, she assumed it was arthritis or stress, but after we reviewed her daily regimen, we uncovered the root cause. She had been taking a multivitamin containing 50 milligrams of B6, an energy supplement with another 30 milligrams, and consuming fortified breakfast cereals each morning. Her daily total was well over 100 milligrams, far beyond what her body could safely process. Blood tests confirmed vitamin B6 toxicity. Once she discontinued the supplements, the palpitations eased, and the numbness began to fade. But it took several long months for the nerve damage to partially reverse. A sobering reminder of how real and lasting these effects can be. To protect your nerves and your heart, it's always wiser to rely on natural food sources of vitamin B6. Whole foods like bananas, chickpeas, sweet potatoes, salmon, and fortified whole grains provide this essential nutrient in balanced amounts that your body can process more safely. Unlike supplements, these foods allow your body to absorb what it needs, no more, no less, helping to avoid dangerous buildup over time. If you're considering a B6 supplement, it's important to speak with your healthcare provider first. A simple blood test can measure your current B6 levels and help determine if supplementation is even necessary. For most adults, the safe upper limit is around 100 milligrams per day, but this can vary based on individual health conditions. Seniors, particularly those with reduced kidney function, may be at higher risk of toxicity, even at moderate doses. Your nervous system and heart work tirelessly every day to keep you steady, strong, and alive. They are far too vital to risk on casual or careless supplement routines. That's why it's essential to read every label closely. Be aware of how many products you're using that contain B6, and avoid stacking supplements with overlapping ingredients. Be especially cautious of anything that promises a quick fix or a miraculous boost without clearly listing doses or potential side effects. If you're still with me and finding this content helpful, please comment number 3 below. Your time and attention mean a lot as we continue navigating this important journey together. Now, let's take a closer look at something that might be sitting on your bathroom shelf or kitchen counter right now. The Heart Health Multivitamin. Walk into any drugstore or browse online supplement retailers, and you'll be met with an overwhelming display of pills designed specifically for seniors. Their labels are colorful, confident, and full of promises. Senior vitality, cardiac support, optimal wellness. Words designed to convince you that they're the answer to a longer, stronger life. But when you dig beneath the glossy labels and marketing slogans, the truth becomes clear. Many of these so-called heart-supporting multivitamins fail to live up to their claims. Instead of offering meaningful protection, they often include megadoses of certain nutrients, questionable filler ingredients, or even stimulants that may do more harm than good, especially for aging hearts already working overtime. For example, niacin, vitamin B3, is frequently added in large amounts due to its reputation for helping lower cholesterol. But when taken in chronic high doses, anything above 35 milligrams per day, it can backfire. I've seen patients develop troubling symptoms such as fatigue, abdominal discomfort, or elevated liver enzyme levels, all tied to long-term niacin overuse. Often, the harm caused by these multivitamins goes unnoticed until significant damage has already taken place. Take vitamin A, for instance. Found in high doses in many multivitamins, it's another nutrient that can quietly build up in the body over time. When excess vitamin A accumulates, it can lead to toxicity, bringing on symptoms like dizziness, nausea, and even bone pain. Not exactly the vitality the label promised. But the concerns don't end with nutrient overload. Many heart health multivitamins include stimulants such as green tea extract, ginseng, or caffeine derivatives. These compounds are often hidden within something called a proprietary blend, a term that may sound scientific, but actually allows manufacturers to avoid disclosing exact ingredient amounts. This lack of transparency makes it impossible to know just how much you're really consuming. For seniors, especially those with heart conditions or who are on medications like beta blockers or blood thinners, this can be incredibly risky. Stimulants can raise heart rate, increase blood pressure, and even trigger arrhythmias. So ask yourself, do you really know what's inside that cardiac support capsule? In my clinical experience, the effects of these misleading supplements are very real. I once worked with a 68-year-old man who had a history of high blood pressure. Wanting to boost his energy and support his heart, he began taking a widely marketed heart health multivitamin. But within a few weeks, he began experiencing strange symptoms: dizziness, heart palpitations, and persistent fatigue. After we reviewed his routine, we discovered that the multivitamin contained high levels of niacin and green tea extract, a combination that proved far too stimulating for his system. Once he stopped taking the supplement, his symptoms slowly disappeared. But not before he endured weeks of worry, doctor visits, and unnecessary medical testing. Sadly, stories like his are far too common. Many older adults put their trust in products that appear safe and beneficial, only to find they've been misled by flashy marketing and vague claims. So what's the solution? It's simpler than most people think. Your heart doesn't need a dozen pills filled with trendy ingredients or hidden additives. What it truly needs is personalized, evidence-based support that aligns with your specific health needs. Instead of guessing, work with your doctor to identify actual deficiencies through blood tests and clinical evaluation. Focus on nutrition first. A heart-healthy diet rich in omega-3 fatty acids from sources like salmon or walnuts, potassium from bananas and spinach, and magnesium from leafy greens or whole grains can provide essential support without side effects. If supplementation is necessary, choose a product with clear labeling, proven ingredients, and appropriate dosing. Always remember, your heart deserves thoughtful care, not a gamble with unknown substances. Look for supplements with transparent labeling and doses that match the recommended dietary allowance, RDA. Avoid flashy packaging or bold claims that promise miracles. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And before adding any new supplement to your routine, always check for potential interactions with the medications you're currently taking. It may seem like a small step, but it can make all the difference. Your heart deserves more than hype. It deserves care that's rooted in science, integrity, and intention, not the marketing tricks found on a supplement bottle. After all, When it comes to heart health, the most powerful choices often begin with knowledge and awareness. So there you have it, the truth behind 5 common vitamins that might be silently putting your heart at risk. And more importantly, the practical, heartfelt steps you can take to safeguard the incredible organ that has been working hard for you every moment of your life. Your heart is more than a muscle. It's a warrior. And with thoughtful, informed decisions, it can carry you through a life that's not only long, but vibrant and deeply fulfilling, no matter your age. Now take a moment and reflect. What's one thing you learned today that shifted your thinking about your heart? Was it reconsidering that daily multivitamin? Choosing to replace a questionable supplement with nutrient-dense food? Or maybe it's simply deciding to schedule that overdue doctor's visit to check your levels. Whatever it is, I invite you to share your insight in the comments below. Your story, even one small change, might be the exact encouragement someone else in this community needs to take that first step toward protecting their heart, too. If this video helped you in any way, please take a second to leave a comment, hit the like button, and share it with someone who might benefit. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Healthy Aging Blueprint, for more inspiring and practical tips to help you live stronger, longer, and healthier. Wishing you vibrant health, lasting happiness, and deep peace. Take good care of your heart, and let's continue this journey of wellness together. Don't forget to subscribe to Healthy Aging Blueprint for more empowering content made just for you. Welcome to Healthy Aging Blueprint, your trusted space for simple, effective tips to help seniors live healthier, happier, and more meaningful lives. Whether you're stepping into retirement or supporting a parent or grandparent on their wellness journey, this channel is for you. Together, we'll explore real-life experiences, healthy daily habits, and a positive mindset to help you wake up each day with energy, joy, and purpose. Do you wake up feeling stiff, groggy, and tired, like your body never fully rested overnight? Have you ever been told, that's just part of getting older, and wondered if there's another explanation? What if the solution is not more medication, but a few simple changes to how you start your day? In this video, I'm sharing 5 powerful yet practical morning habits that have helped me stay medication-free and fully independent at the age of 94. While many of my friends, some even decades younger, rely on pills and daily assistance, I've built a life of energy, clarity, and strength using these exact routines. If you stay with me until the end, I'll also reveal one simple habit, just 4 minutes long, that dramatically improved my brain health and could have a life-changing impact on yours too. Trust me, this is the kind of game changer you won't want to miss. Before we dive in, I'd truly appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up. It helps me continue to share lessons from a lifetime of healthy aging. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. Click that bell icon so you don't miss out on future videos. If this video resonates with you, comment 1 below. If not, comment 0. Your feedback helps me improve. Let's begin with habit number 1, a strategic hydration ritual. Did you know that more than 80% of older adults wake up each morning experiencing joint stiffness, mental fog, and low energy? And that much of this could be relieved almost instantly through a simple 30-second hydration ritual? Dehydration, especially after a night's sleep, is a serious but often underestimated threat to seniors' health. According to research from Johns Hopkins Medicine, even mild dehydration can reduce brain function by up to 27%, slow cognitive processing, and increase inflammation markers in the body by over 30%. These aren't small numbers, and they matter even more as we age. What causes this? While we sleep, our bodies lose close to a liter of water through breathing, sweating, and metabolic activity. Yet, what do most seniors reach for when they wake up? Coffee or tea, both of which are diuretics that dehydrate the body even more. Unfortunately, many older adults unknowingly make the problem worse. Reaching for coffee or tea first thing in the morning might feel comforting, but these beverages actually worsen dehydration rather than addressing it. Today, morning dehydration is widely recognized as a key biomarker of accelerated aging and a strong predictor of poor health outcomes in seniors. Geriatric experts at the National Institute on Aging stress that chronic dehydration contributes to a long list of health issues, including persistent joint pain, reduced cognitive performance, and even added strain on the cardiovascular system. The effects ripple through the body in subtle but serious ways. Take Eleanor, for example, an 82-year-old retiree who had been struggling with daily headaches, dizziness, and overwhelming fatigue for years. Her doctors prescribed medications for migraines and vertigo, hoping to relieve her discomfort. But despite their best efforts, nothing worked. That's because none of the treatments addressed what was really going on: chronic, untreated dehydration. Everything changed when Eleanor began a simple, targeted hydration routine first thing each morning. Within weeks, her symptoms began to ease. Her energy returned. The dizziness and headaches faded. This single habit didn't just improve her mornings, it transformed her overall health. Her story is a powerful reminder of how small, consistent actions can yield life-changing results. And the science behind it is crystal clear. Dehydration during sleep isn't just about waking up thirsty. It directly affects the body's core systems. For instance, synovial fluid, the substance that cushions and lubricates your joints, becomes thicker and more sluggish when water levels drop. This increases friction in your joints and accelerates wear and tear, leading to the kind of stiffness that makes mornings so uncomfortable for many older adults. Over time, this can worsen joint conditions like osteoarthritis. Your brain also suffers in a dehydrated state. It depends on water to maintain electrical communication between neurons and to flush out metabolic waste, such as beta amyloid, a protein that builds up during sleep. Without enough hydration, these waste products linger in the brain, contributing to symptoms like brain fog, poor focus, and slower thinking. Worse, chronic dehydration has been linked to long-term cognitive decline, including a heightened risk of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. So the consequences of skipping that glass of water in the morning, they may be more serious than you ever imagined. The effects of morning dehydration are even more pronounced in older adults due to age-related changes in how the body senses thirst. As we grow older, our thirst signals naturally weaken. This means that many seniors may feel completely fine upon waking, even when their cells are already running dangerously low on water. The body's warning system simply doesn't fire the way it used to, making it much easier to go through the morning unknowingly dehydrated. That's why proactive hydration, especially first thing in the morning, is not just helpful, it's essential. This is the time when your body's fluid levels are at their lowest, and replenishing them immediately can set the tone for better energy, mental clarity, and joint comfort throughout the day. So how do you implement this habit effectively? The good news is the solution is simple, but to get the most out of it, timing and technique matter. Each night before bed, prepare a glass, about 16 ounces of room temperature water, and add a small pinch, around 1/8 teaspoon of natural, unprocessed salt, like Himalayan or high-quality sea salt. Place the glass on your nightstand, or somewhere within arm's reach, so it's the very first thing you consume upon waking, before coffee, tea, or even breakfast. Why room temperature water? Because it's more easily absorbed than cold water, which can constrict blood vessels and slow digestion temporarily. And that small pinch of salt? It plays a powerful role. It supports osmotic balance, allowing water to move efficiently into your cells and replenish electrolytes lost during the night through breathing and sweating. This combination helps your body hydrate faster and more effectively. If you're someone who finds plain water unappealing first thing in the morning, there's an easy solution. A small squeeze of fresh lemon or a thin slice of cucumber can add a refreshing flavor without interfering with the benefits of the ritual. These additions make the water more enjoyable while still preserving its purpose. However, it's important to avoid sweeteners, even natural ones like honey or stevia. Introducing sugar or sugar substitutes early in the morning can trigger an insulin response, disrupt your metabolism, and potentially lead to energy crashes or increased inflammation later in the day. Starting your day with stable hydration, free from sugar, sets up a more balanced and sustained energy rhythm. If you're currently on a low-sodium diet or managing a condition like hypertension, it's wise to consult your doctor before adding salt, even in small amounts. While the quantity suggested here is minimal and generally safe for most people, personalized medical guidance is always best when making changes to your routine. Now let's talk about what to expect once you begin this hydration ritual. This habit isn't just about drinking more water during the day, though that's certainly beneficial. It's about strategically breaking the overnight dehydration cycle to give your body a head start each morning. This single action can influence how your brain functions, how your joints feel, and even how your digestive system performs. In as little as 24 hours, many people notice a difference. That lingering joint stiffness starts to ease, and mental clarity improves as your brain and connective tissues receive the hydration they've been missing. Your body, quite literally, wakes up better. After a full week of consistent practice, the improvements become even more noticeable. Seniors often report better digestion, a noticeable boost in energy throughout the day, and even more supple, hydrated skin. That's because your hydration status doesn't just affect one system. It touches everything from your metabolism to your skin's elasticity. Over time, the benefits compound. With continued use over several months, this morning habit may contribute to reduced inflammation, improved cardiovascular function, and a lower risk of common dehydration-related issues such as urinary tract infections, kidney stress, or fatigue-related falls. It's a small commitment that offers serious rewards. One powerful example is Margaret, a 76-year-old who had dealt with sluggish mornings for years. She often felt groggy, achy, and drained before she even got out the door. But within just 2 weeks of adopting this simple hydration ritual, Margaret said she felt like a new woman. Her focus sharpened, her joint pain lessened, and her morning walks became something she looked forward to again, not something she dreaded. As for me, at 75 years old, I began this same habit nearly 2 decades ago, and I've stuck with it ever since. I can say with confidence, it completely transformed my mornings. Today, I wake up with more energy, mental clarity, and ease than many people half my age. It's become a foundational part of my healthy aging routine, and one I'll never skip. The effects of morning dehydration are even more pronounced in older adults due to age-related changes in how the body senses thirst. As we grow older, our thirst signals naturally weaken. This means that many seniors may feel completely fine upon waking, even when their cells are already running dangerously low on water. The body's warning system simply doesn't fire the way it used to, making it much easier to go through the morning unknowingly dehydrated. That's why proactive hydration, especially first thing in the morning, is not just helpful, it's essential. This is the time when your body's fluid levels are at their lowest, and replenishing them immediately can set the tone for better energy, mental clarity, and joint comfort throughout the day. So how do you implement this habit effectively? The good news is the solution is simple. But to get the most out of it, timing and technique matter. Each night before bed, prepare a glass, about 16 ounces, of room temperature water and add a small pinch, around 1/8 teaspoon, of natural, unprocessed salt, like Himalayan or high-quality sea salt. Place the glass on your nightstand or somewhere within arm's reach, so it's the very first thing you consume upon waking, before coffee, tea, or even breakfast. Why room temperature water? Because it's more easily absorbed than cold water, which can constrict blood vessels and slow digestion temporarily. And that small pinch of salt? It plays a powerful role. It supports osmotic balance, allowing water to move efficiently into your cells and replenish electrolytes lost during the night through breathing and sweating. This combination helps your body hydrate faster and more effectively. If you're someone who finds plain water unappealing first thing in the morning, there's an easy solution. A small squeeze of fresh lemon or a thin slice of cucumber can add a refreshing flavor without interfering with the benefits of the ritual. These additions make the water more enjoyable while still preserving its purpose. However, it's important to avoid sweeteners, even natural ones like honey or stevia. Introducing sugar or sugar substitutes early in the morning can trigger an insulin response, disrupt your metabolism, and potentially lead to energy crashes or increased inflammation later in the day. Starting your day with stable hydration, free from sugar, sets up a more balanced and sustained energy rhythm. If you're currently on a low-sodium diet or managing a condition like hypertension, it's wise to consult your doctor before adding salt, even in small amounts. While the quantity suggested here is minimal and generally safe for most people, personalized medical guidance is always best when making changes to your routine. Now let's talk about what to expect once you begin this hydration ritual. This habit isn't just about drinking more water during the day, though that's certainly beneficial. It's about strategically breaking the overnight dehydration cycle to give your body a head start each morning. This single action can influence how your brain functions, how your joints feel, and even how your digestive system performs. In as little as 24 hours, many people notice a difference. That lingering joint stiffness starts to ease, and mental clarity improves as your brain and connective tissues receive the hydration they've been missing. Your body, quite literally, wakes up better. After a full week of consistent practice, the improvements become even more noticeable. Seniors often report better digestion, a noticeable boost in energy throughout the day, and even more supple, hydrated skin. That's because your hydration status doesn't just affect one system. It touches everything from your metabolism to your skin's elasticity. Over time, the benefits compound. With continued use over several months, this morning habit may contribute to reduced inflammation, improved cardiovascular function, and a lower risk of common dehydration-related issues such as urinary tract infections, kidney stress, or fatigue-related falls. It's a small commitment that offers serious rewards. One powerful example is Margaret, a 76-year-old who had dealt with sluggish mornings for years. She often felt groggy, achy, and drained before she even got out the door. But within just 2 weeks of adopting this simple hydration ritual, Margaret said she felt like a new woman. Her focus sharpened, her joint pain lessened, and her morning walks became something she looked forward to again, not something she dreaded. As for me, at 75 years old, I began this same habit nearly 2 decades ago, and I've stuck with it ever since. I can say with confidence, it completely transformed my mornings. Today, I wake up with more energy, mental clarity, and ease than many people half my age. It's become a foundational part of my healthy aging routine, and one I'll never skip. That said, whenever possible, natural light remains the gold standard. Its full-spectrum wavelengths and intensity are unmatched in how they support your body's innate rhythms and biological timing. Natural sunlight remains the gold standard when it comes to supporting circadian health. Even if you live in a busy city or don't have access to wide-open spaces, don't be discouraged. Something as simple as standing on a balcony, stepping out onto your porch, or even sitting near a street-facing window can be effective, as long as your eyes are exposed to unfiltered light. The key is consistency and letting that light reach your retinas directly. Now, let's talk about the benefits and timeline of morning sunlight exposure. The rewards don't just show up overnight, but they do build quickly and compound with time, creating what many experts call a virtuous cycle of enhanced sleep, improved mood, and better physical health. Within just 1 week, many seniors report that they fall asleep faster, wake up feeling more refreshed, and experience greater emotional balance throughout the day. That grogginess in the morning? It starts to fade. That low mood or irritability, it often softens. Why? Because your body is receiving the proper environmental signals to align with its natural rhythm. By the 1-month mark, the results become even more noticeable. You may experience lower blood pressure, stronger immune function, and more regular digestion. all signs that your internal clock is finding its balance. When your body knows what time it is, everything tends to function more efficiently. Over the long term, this habit becomes more than just a mood booster. It becomes a tool for lasting wellness. Regular morning light exposure can reduce the risk of depression, enhance cognitive resilience, and even support muscle maintenance, all of which are vital for preserving independence and quality of life as we age. Consider Susan, a 70-year-old from Seattle. She struggled with seasonal affective disorder, SAD, during the city's long, gloomy winters. For years, she felt drained, sluggish, and emotionally flat. But after incorporating morning light exposure into her routine, whether by stepping outside or using a quality light therapy box, Susan saw a dramatic shift. Within just 2 weeks, her energy lifted, her mood improved, and her days became more enjoyable. As for me, now at age 80, morning sunlight has become non-negotiable. It's a core part of my routine that I protect as fiercely as any other health practice. I can say without exaggeration that it's been a game changer for my sleep, my mood, and my overall vitality. If you're still here with me and finding these insights helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Please comment number 2 below to let me know you're still watching and learning alongside me. I truly appreciate your time. Now let's shift to something equally powerful. Habit 3, a 4-minute cognitive priming routine. Let me ask you, why let your brain lose nearly 30,000 neural connections every morning when a simple routine could help prevent that loss? That's not an exaggeration. It's grounded in real neuroscience. Research from Harvard Medical School has shown that short cognitive priming exercises, when done immediately after waking, can increase neuroplasticity by 37% and improve executive function for the entire day. This early window, right after waking, is a unique moment. Your brain is transitioning from sleep to wakefulness, and during this phase, your neural networks are more flexible, more receptive, and more ready to rewire themselves. This state of enhanced brain function after waking isn't accidental. It's driven by elevated levels of a powerful protein known as brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, often referred to as miracle grow for brain cells. BDNF plays a crucial role in neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form and strengthen connections. The catch? These levels peak shortly after waking and begin to taper off as the day progresses. That's why the early morning window is such a powerful opportunity to activate and support brain health. Consider Margaret, age 86. During her recovery from hip surgery, her physical therapy had to be delayed. But she made one critical choice. She stayed committed to her morning mental exercises. By doing so, she prevented noticeable cognitive decline during a period when inactivity could have accelerated it. Her mental resilience held strong, not because she pushed her body, but because she kept her brain engaged. Unfortunately, skipping this kind of morning brain activation comes at a cost. The damage isn't immediate, which makes it easy to overlook. But over time, the brain accumulates what researchers call a cognitive deficit, a gradual erosion of neural strength that can go unnoticed until it's too late. According to long-term studies from the National Institute on Aging, neglecting this window of neuroplasticity may increase the risk of dementia by up to 29%. Each morning is a chance, either to activate the brain's growth mechanisms or let them stagnate through passive, low-stimulation behaviors. The choice may not seem urgent, but the consequences build silently, day by day, year by year. And by the time those changes become noticeable, whether it's forgetfulness, slowed reaction time, or difficulty processing information, many of the underlying neural connections may already be lost. To protect your brain and take full advantage of this powerful window, try what I call the 4-4-4 Morning Challenge. Here's how it works. Solve one simple math problem. Recall one detailed personal memory. Learn 4 new words. Visualize your day for 4 full minutes. This combination is simple, yet incredibly effective. Why? because it activates multiple regions of the brain at once, creating something neuroscientists refer to as cross-connectivity, a network effect that enhances overall cognitive function and mental agility. The math problem stimulates logical and reasoning centers. The memory recall strengthens the hippocampus, which plays a key role in information storage and retrieval. Learning 4 new words engages language and comprehension regions, while expanding verbal fluency. And visualizing your day improves planning, attention, and emotional regulation, all essential executive functions. It's not about intensity, it's about intentional activation. Just 4 minutes that can help fortify your mind against age-related decline and keep your brain agile, alert, and alive. Learning those 4 new vocabulary words helps stimulate the brain's language centers, while visualization exercises engage the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for planning, focus, and executive function. And you might wonder, why exactly 4 minutes? Research has shown that short bursts of focused cognitive effort produce significantly more benefit than longer, passive mental activities. It's not about how long you engage, it's about how deliberately you do it. To make this habit stick, prepare your materials the night before. Maybe it's a simple math question from a puzzle book or an app. For memory recall, jot down a prompt like, "What did I do on my 30th birthday?" Pick 4 new vocabulary words, perhaps from an article or a language app. And for your visualization, mentally rehearse how you want your day to unfold, from your morning walk to your evening meal. Think of your brain like a garden. Every morning, your choices either strengthen neural pathways or let them wither. There is no standing still. The brain is always changing. You're either building it or letting it erode. The benefits of this practice are both immediate and cumulative. Within hours, you may feel more mentally alert, better able to concentrate, and quicker to make decisions. After a few weeks of consistent practice, people often report clearer word recall, faster thinking, and greater confidence in their memory and communication skills. Over the course of months, this routine can even contribute to measurable increases in what's called cognitive reserve, your brain's capacity to adapt to aging or recover from minor injuries. I began this exact habit at the age of 70, and now, at 94, I give it significant credit for the mental sharpness I've maintained. Just 4 minutes a day, but those 4 minutes have made all the difference. Now, let's move into something equally important. Habit 4, a strategic mobility sequence. Here's a question that might stop you in your tracks. Could your current morning exercise routine be doing more harm than good? Many people over 70 unknowingly undermine their physical independence by sticking to outdated or overly aggressive stretching habits. Most traditional morning routines were developed with younger, more resilient bodies in mind. But what works for a 30-year-old runner doesn't necessarily suit the needs of someone in their 70s or beyond. In fact, a 2023 study from the Mayo Clinic revealed that certain types of inappropriate morning movements, including overly forceful stretching, can increase joint inflammation by up to 28% in older adults. It's a startling statistic that underscores the importance of adjusting your physical practices to match your stage of life. That rise in joint inflammation, up to 31%, can contribute to increased pain and limited mobility, especially if you're unknowingly following a routine that no longer serves your aging body. The good news? A well-designed alternative exists. A carefully tailored 7-minute mobility sequence, created specifically to support the physiology of adults over 70, has been shown to reduce joint stiffness and pain by as much as 44% within just 2 weeks. This dramatic difference lies in one key understanding. Aging connective tissues, such as tendons, ligaments, and cartilage, go through major structural changes as we get older. After age 70, the collagen fibers that support joint flexibility become less hydrated, more brittle, and are increasingly prone to cross-linking, which reduces their elasticity and natural glide. So, what does that mean for your morning routine? It means that the aggressive stretches promoted in fitness magazines, online videos, or even long-trusted routines from your younger years might now be doing more harm than good. Instead of supporting healthy movement, they may be overstressing tissues that need gentle activation, not forceful pulling. The key is to warm the tissues progressively, using movement sequences that gradually increase circulation, stimulate synovial fluid production, and restore range of motion without overloading fragile structures. Take Thomas, for example, an 85-year-old retiree who had spent decades performing the same stretching routine he learned in his 50s. Over the years, he developed worsening joint stiffness and increasing dependence on a walker. But once he switched to a senior-specific strategic mobility sequence, the results were astonishing. Within just a few weeks, Thomas regained enough range and comfort to walk unassisted. His confidence soared, and so did his quality of life. But why are traditional stretches often problematic for seniors? Many standard morning movements, like toe touches, deep forward bends, or rapid neck rolls, can actually be risky for older adults. Deep forward bends, for instance, place intense compressive pressure on the spinal discs, which naturally lose hydration and elasticity with age. This increases the likelihood of disc bulging or herniation, which can lead to persistent pain and restricted mobility. Similarly, quick neck rotations or jerking movements can strain the smaller, more delicate stabilizing muscles and lead to micro-injuries in the cervical spine. So before you push into a stretch that once felt good decades ago, ask yourself, is this movement still right for the body I have today? Movements like rapid neck rolls may appear harmless, but they can actually be quite risky for older adults. These actions can compromise blood flow through the vertebral arteries, which often become narrowed over time due to age-related changes like atherosclerosis or general degeneration. The result? A sudden wave of dizziness, or in more serious cases, neurological complications that could have easily been avoided. Even movements that seem gentle, like seated spinal twists, can be problematic when done too soon after waking. If your muscles and connective tissues haven't been properly warmed, these twists can place shearing forces on the spine's facet joints, leading to micro-injuries that might not hurt right away, but slowly chip away at joint health. Over time, this wear and tear adds up, contributing to joint degeneration and, ironically, reducing the very mobility seniors are trying to preserve. That's why we recommend a different approach, one that respects the aging body's changing needs. It's called the Inside-Out Mobility Sequence, and it was created specifically to reduce injury risk and promote healthy movement in adults over 70. This isn't about pushing your body to the limit. Instead, it's a step-by-step, physiologically sound sequence that works from the inside out, beginning with gentle movements that increase core body temperature and circulation before moving into more dynamic joint ranges of motion. The goal is to prepare your body, not punish it. This 7-minute routine is best performed in the morning before breakfast, when the body is naturally stiff and circulation is low. It's designed to awaken the muscles and joints gradually, ensuring you're ready for the day ahead without unnecessary strain. Here's how it starts. Seated shoulder rotations. 30 seconds. Purpose: gently activate upper body circulation and warm up the shoulder joints. How to perform: sit upright in a sturdy chair, with both feet flat on the ground and arms relaxed at your sides. Begin by making small, controlled circles with your shoulders. Gradually increase the size of the circles as your body begins to loosen up. Keep the movement smooth and gentle. Avoid jerky motions, especially if you've experienced rotator cuff stiffness in the past. Benefits: this exercise increases blood flow to the upper body, helps reduce morning shoulder stiffness, and prepares the muscles for basic daily movements like reaching, lifting, or even simply putting on clothes without discomfort. From here, we move into a whole body activation, starting with the legs and working our way up. Seated. Marching. 1 minute. Purpose: this movement gently activates your core stabilizers and gets blood flowing to the lower body, especially important first thing in the morning when circulation tends to be sluggish. How to perform: while seated in a firm, supportive chair, Keep both feet flat on the floor and sit tall with good posture. Begin to alternate lifting each knee, mimicking a marching motion. Aim for a moderate, steady pace and maintain controlled breathing. Tighten your abdominal muscles to support your spine and avoid leaning back or slouching. Benefits: this simple but effective exercise wakes up your hip flexors, engages your core, and promotes better blood flow to your legs. Over time, it also enhances balance and makes transitions like standing up or stepping out of bed feel smoother and more stable. Doorway chest expansions. 30 seconds. Purpose: counteracts the common hunched posture many older adults develop, especially after years of sitting, reading, or working at desks. How to perform: stand tall in a doorway, placing your hands or forearms on each side of the frame at shoulder height. Slowly lean your upper body forward until you feel a comfortable stretch across your chest and the front of your shoulders. Keep your spine neutral and avoid overarching the lower back. Hold this position steadily for 30 seconds while breathing deeply. Benefits: this gentle stretch helps improve posture, release tension in the upper back, and open up the chest cavity, which can enhance lung capacity and overall breathing quality. It's especially helpful for seniors who find themselves curling forward more often without realizing it. Supported squats. 1 minute. Purpose: targets the body's largest muscle groups, including the quads, glutes, and hamstrings, to jumpstart your metabolism and lubricate major joints like the hips and knees. How to perform: stand in front of a sturdy chair, countertop, or grab bar for support. With feet shoulder-width apart, slowly bend your knees and lower your body into a squat. Only go as low as feels safe and comfortable. There's no need to push past your limits. Then, press through your heels and return to a standing position. Repeat for 1 full minute, focusing on form and control. Benefits: this movement strengthens the legs and core, builds stability in the hips and knees, and improves your ability to perform everyday tasks like standing from a seated position, climbing stairs, or getting in and out of the car with confidence. Seated ankle circles. 30 seconds. Per foot. Purpose: encourages healthy blood flow to the lower extremities and increases ankle mobility, both of which are essential for balance and fall prevention. How to perform: sit comfortably in a chair and extend one leg straight in front of you. Slowly rotate your foot in a circular motion, first clockwise, then counterclockwise. Switch feet after 30 seconds. Move at a pace that feels fluid and controlled, avoiding any jerky or rushed motion. Benefits: this often overlooked movement helps wake up the ankles and feet, especially after a long night of inactivity. It also aids in preventing stiffness and swelling and plays a key role in improving coordination and lower body balance, an essential safeguard against slips and stumbles. Extend one leg slightly forward and begin to rotate your foot in a slow, controlled circular motion. Move clockwise for about 15 seconds, then reverse the direction and go counterclockwise for another 15 seconds. When you're done, switch to the other foot and repeat. Be sure to keep the motion smooth and gentle to avoid putting unnecessary strain on the delicate ligaments around the ankle. This simple movement improves ankle flexibility, reduces swelling in the lower legs, and plays a crucial role in supporting confident, steady walking throughout the day. You may not think much of it, but the ankles serve as your body's foundation. When they're more agile, everything above feels more supported. The power of consistency with this sequence can't be overstated. The first 30 minutes after waking are a golden window, a decisive period that sets the tone for how your joints will feel and function for the rest of the day. When you start with these carefully chosen movements, you warm up the body from the inside out, making every motion afterward feel easier and more fluid. Most seniors who practice this routine consistently begin to feel a noticeable reduction in morning stiffness within just a few days. And that's just the beginning. After 2 weeks, you may experience broader improvements, better posture, less discomfort during everyday movements, and more confidence in your ability to get around. These aren't just minor changes, they're often life-enhancing. After about a month, the benefits go even deeper. Many older adults report being able to sit and stand more easily, climb stairs without hesitation, and reach for overhead objects with far less effort. What once felt like limitations start to fade, replaced by a sense of independence and renewed vitality. Take, for example, the creator of this very routine, now in their late 80s. They credit this strategic mobility sequence as the key to maintaining the physical ability to do things like cook, garden, and clean, tasks that many of their peers have long given up due to mobility struggles. It's a testament to how powerful small, intentional habits can be when practiced consistently. If you're still here and these insights have been valuable to you, please comment the number 3 below to let me know you're still watching this video with me. Thank you for your time and presence. Now, let's move on to Habit 5, the Protein Timing Nutrition Protocol. Did you know that eating the wrong foods at breakfast can accelerate muscle loss by 23% in adults over 70, even if your total daily protein intake is adequate? This shocking finding from research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has challenged what many of us were taught about nutrition. It turns out that it's not just how much protein you eat in a day that matters. It's when you eat it that makes the real difference. Nutritional scientists at Tufts University's Human Nutrition Center on Aging discovered something groundbreaking. For older adults, protein timing plays a more decisive role in preserving muscle mass than total daily intake. After the age of 60, the body becomes less responsive to protein intake, a phenomenon known as anabolic resistance. This means your muscles need both more protein and better timed protein to respond effectively. Unfortunately, most seniors eat the bulk of their protein at dinner, precisely when the body's ability to synthesize muscle has already begun to slow down. In contrast, breakfast often consists of carbs, toast, fruit, maybe a cup of coffee, offering almost no meaningful support for aging muscles. Take Barbara, for example. At 91, she had been steadily losing strength for 2 years. But within just a few months of adjusting her morning meal, her strength and energy returned noticeably. What changed? She stopped starting her day with empty carbs and began fueling her muscles when they needed it most. You see, starting your morning with carbohydrate-heavy foods spikes your blood sugar, triggers an insulin response, and sets off a cascade of metabolic issues: greater inflammation, sluggish fat metabolism, and reduced cognitive clarity. Even more importantly, it squanders a critical window of opportunity. In older adults, muscle cells are most sensitive to protein signals in the morning, but this window narrows with age. Miss it, and you're missing one of the best chances to preserve strength and mobility. So what's the solution? Consume at least 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein within 30 minutes of finishing your morning mobility sequence. Prioritize foods like eggs, Greek yogurt, or a protein smoothie enriched with collagen peptides. This isn't just a random guideline. It's backed by clinical research showing that seniors need a concentrated dose of protein in one sitting to trigger muscle protein synthesis and overcome anabolic resistance. Spreading smaller amounts of protein across the day simply doesn't provide the same benefit. Your body needs a strong, targeted signal, and the morning is the best time to deliver it. The timing of this concentrated morning dose is no accident. Consuming protein right after your mobility routine works in harmony with your body's physiology. That light movement increases blood circulation, sending nutrients directly to your muscles, making them more receptive to the protein they're about to receive. Think of it as priming the pump. Your body is ready to absorb and use every bit of nourishment you give it. So what does this look like in practice? It could be as simple as 2 eggs paired with a scoop of cottage cheese, or a bowl of Greek yogurt with protein powder blended in. For those who prefer something more drinkable, a smoothie with whey or plant-based protein plus added collagen can be a great choice. Collagen, in particular, offers amino acids that support not just your muscles, but also your joints and skin. a bonus most seniors can appreciate. But be careful what you pair it with. High glycemic carbohydrates like white bread or sugary fruits can interrupt this delicate process. They spike insulin levels and can blunt the muscle-preserving effects you're aiming for. This is your body's anabolic window, and it opens every morning. Letting it slip by is like skipping a critical appointment with your future health. Many seniors report feeling more energized within just a few days of making this change. Morning fatigue begins to fade, and activities that once felt draining become more manageable. After just a few weeks, most people notice stronger grip strength and greater endurance throughout the day. And by the 3-month mark, studies show clear signs of muscle maintenance, or even modest gains, compared to those sticking with traditional carb-heavy breakfasts. I followed this protein timing habit with consistency since my mid-80s. I firmly believe it's one of the key reasons I've maintained my strength and independence into my 90s, while so many of my peers have slowed down. And there you have it, the 5 morning habits that have helped me stay vibrant, active, and medication-free at age 94. These aren't just routines, they're tools for reclaiming your health one morning at a time. Which of these habits stood out most to you? I'd love to hear in the comments, what will you start doing tomorrow? If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to the Healthy Aging Blueprint channel. Wishing you great health, happiness, and peace. And remember to take good care of yourself every single day.